Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Francisco. I'm a professional musician, guitarist, and educator. And in this video, we're going to be discussing the 7 most common things why beginner guitarists or musicians on any instrument fail or quit lessons. Or in general, they quit when they start. These are based on my professional experience as an educator, teaching a lot of people over many years in many different settings and different parts of the world. They're not to criticize anything or anybody. They're just for the purpose of learning and analyzing some of this stuff. Anyway, so number 1, lack of consistency. In order to get good at anything, you need to try to practice every single day. Even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, doesn't matter. This has way more value than practicing on Monday and then maybe on Thursday and then maybe on Sunday. Too scattered. You want to show up every day. This gives you a lot of motivation. You start seeing progress and the material starts feeling easier. A lot of students lose this motivation because, again, everything starts feeling hard. This is too hard for me. I don't think I'm good at this, etc., because they don't practice enough. Another thing I recommend is getting a practice notebook and then recording what you worked on, the date, seeing what you work on, and this continuity effect when you open that, you're going to practice. It has a really positive effect when you're learning something and to improve on anything. So again, that's number 1. Number 2, really unrealistic expectations. A lot of beginner students walk into their first lessons, with really hard deadlines. Stuff like, I promised myself I was going to learn guitar by the time I'm 40. And then you ask them, well, when is your birthday? In 2 months. So again, that's just going to cause frustration. You're going to start saying that you're not good at that. That's not for you, etc. The key thing here is not to put a hard deadline on it. You got to live with it. It has to be like brushing your teeth. You don't really put this pressure on brushing your teeth. You do it every day. You don't quit brushing your teeth because you're busy. That's the key thing. Playing an instrument takes time, enjoyment. You got to go deep in it, involvement, immersion, right? So you got to live with the activity. That's the most important thing. And more valuable than a deadline is a goal. Even if it's very general, I want to play guitar. That's your goal. Great. Live with it. You got to live with that goal. Number 3, I'm too busy for this. This is very common again in beginners. They show up to their lessons and slowly they start saying that they have too much work, family, travel, etc. Completely understandable. Everybody has complicated lives and we're busy. It's hard to make time for stuff. And in fact, it is okay to quit your lessons if you have to, if you're paying for them and you don't have time for it. But don't quit the instrument, okay? You don't need to quit playing the guitar because you don't have time for it. Obviously, all of this is, influenced by interest. How interested are you actually in doing this stuff? But again, if you're busy, you couldn't play that much this week, you're going to play next week. It's that simple, okay? Don't make a drastic, crazy decision just because you don't have time this week. You got to make time for it. It is hard, but it's how it works if you actually want to see progress and learn the instrument and music or whatever it is. So that's number 3. Going on to number 4, very classic. It's not fun anymore. So this one, beginner students are usually very motivated at the beginning, but then one day they tell you that, hey, working on this exercise wasn't that fun. Can you give me one that's more fun? The truth is that some stuff that you need to do in order to get better and have more fun won't be fun. Some stuff is tedious to practice. That's completely normal, okay? So losing motivation because you sense that it's not fun, it's not really realistic on how things work. For this, you gotta understand that some days it won't be fun to do it, and you gotta push through. Anyway, so that's a classic 2. and it could lead to again, a heavy loss of motivation and sense of why am I doing this kind of thing in beginner students. Okay, so the first 4 were more general things that I see in lessons. The next 3 are more specific stuff that happens during the lessons. Number 5, changing songs or topics too quickly. This is a classic where somebody has all of these favorite songs they want to play, which is awesome and understandable. But for beginners, right, understand that if you change the topic or the song too quickly, you won't develop depth. And as a beginner, you want to develop some depth, because when you develop depth on something, on specific skill, it amplifies to other things, making those other things easier, right? If you're too shallow on that song and you never really learn the skill, the strumming pattern, the technique, specific thing on it, then that next song will feel hard, and the next one hard too, and everything is hard. So you lose motivation. This is too hard, not getting better, then you quit. So again, stay longer with one thing. Pay attention to your teacher, value the advice, and work more deeply on little things. Number 6, afraid of learning music theory or getting too deep in it. Also understandable, but most people want to play for fun, right? And when you talk to them about music theory, or if you mention something music theory related, they will tell you that I wasn't really necessarily interested in that, or I didn't know I had to learn that. Sure, but then they start, really kind of losing interest in it because they don't want to, that's not what they wanted to learn. And the truth is that you can't separate playing an instrument from music theory. Music theory is not this crazy mathematical thing. It really is just a representation of what we hear. So learning and being curious as a beginner about music theory will just make you a better player, and it will accelerate your progress. Maybe you're working on a song where there's a strumming and you can't get it right, playing out of time. You need to learn about pulse, rhythm. Those things will actually enhance your experience of it, and you will actually gain some depth on how to do it, which again will amplify to other songs. So don't be scared of music theory. Be curious about it, be open, and I promise you're going to see a lot of progress, and it's going to motivate you to keep playing. Okay, the last one is number 7. Beginner students don't value enough memorizing things. This one, it's a little tricky because yes, it is hard to memorize things, right? But if you're a beginner guitar player or a music student, somebody teaches you a chord, the rule is don't forget it. Don't ever forget it. You don't know if somebody's going to teach you that chord again or that thing again. Make it a goal to try to maybe memorize a couple of chords per month. It is just like a language where you have to memorize words to use them in sentences every day, right? A word like hi or house, doesn't matter. You're going to use it every day. So if somebody teaches you a note, the 7th fret of the G string is a D. Don't forget it. Try to not forget it. Write it down and show off. Tell somebody, hey, I learned this fret. It's the D note on the G string. And again, it adds up, right? Chords, notes, and then you see some progress when actually getting familiar with the material, which is crucial here. You want to have familiarity with the material. So try to memorize more things. I have lots of students that I don't see progress with because they've been taking lessons for 2-3 years and they still have to look up a G chord, how to play it, C chord, etc. I think, at that point it's not even acceptable. But again, it's hard to memorize things. Just try to make an effort and try to value, memorizing something, a little something each week or each month. Great. So those are the 7 things I wrote, and I usually make guitar and music content. If this video was helpful and you liked it, please give me a like and comment your opinion if you want. And again, hopefully for anybody learning an instrument, for the first time or getting into music for the first time, this video was helpful. I can tell you that the students that actually do the opposite of this, of each of these points here, are the ones that I've seen progress the most. They still play, they play in bands, they've become composers. So again, this is really based on my observations over a long time, teaching over 5,000 hours of guitar lessons and music lessons. Anyway, so nothing else to say. I will see you in the next video.